the bad, it's the negative things we always remember that affect us. And, that parent or that teacher could have countered that negative comment with 100 positive comments, but the one we carry with us is that negative one. And something that with Harvest House, we're not just, of course, we want people to get off of drugs and alcohol and anything they might be addicted to in the Freedom Program. But it's so much more than that. It's really knowing who you are and your identity and seeing yourself through the words and the eyes of Jesus. And so we go deeper into the spirit, into the soul, into our emotions, to go back to maybe when you were 3 and mom said something that you've been carrying on for the last 40 years, and maybe you didn't even know you're carrying with you that's affected you all this time. So we have a great staff who does that every single day through classes and case management and counseling. And it's an honor to work with this group and to see lives changing every single day. So I asked Jim, just a director of program services at the Freedom Program, to say a few words before we bring up our graduates.
Thank you. So I wanted to, before we bring up the clients, I was praying and I was thinking about the clients. I always do this, and I first wanted to honor just our pastors here, Pastor Dan Australia, Jim and Peggy and Aaron, and the leadership here, and then all of you, because it's because of all of you, too, that we get to witness what we're going to witness here in just a minute. And it reminds me of Mark chapter 9. It reminds me of the story. Briefly, I'm going to just share it because it's a good, in your mind's eye, picture for you to get of how important you are to what you're going to see tonight, even when you think maybe you're not. And in Mark chapter 9, we have a story of a father that has a child that is tormented, keeps throwing himself in the fire and in the water, and it's just tormented from birth. And the disciples couldn't cast it out, couldn't heal the child. And the father found Jesus and said, "Listen, Jesus, help me, help me." And the disciples weren't able to help my son. And Jesus asked him a couple questions. He said, "How long has he been this way?" And the father said, "From birth." And then Jesus did something remarkable, and this is where I want to include you, and I really want to thank you for it. Jesus said to the father, "All things are possible with God. Can you believe?" You see, Jesus had belief, but he wanted to engage the Father. And so often when my belief is slow, is a little bit light, or John's there to pick me up, and so often you guys are there, and we have a pastor and a leadership that's believed from the beginning for that very person that keeps trying to throw himself in the fire and kill himself, that's tormented, whether it's addiction or alcoholism or whatever that demon is, that is just because to the world, they don't believe. They look at us and the people that come into our programs and have given up hope. But we have pastors and leadership and a church family right here that continues to believe. And the Father said, "I believe, help me with my unbelief." And that's heartfelt. And sometimes I believe and I need help, and you guys help me with my unbelief. And sometimes we lift each other up and we believe for each other. But Jesus is always there and he's always believing. And I want you to know when we bring these clients up here today, they looked just like I looked and many of you looked, twisting around, throwing ourselves in the fire and in the water, trying to end our life, tormented and demon-possessed. And so just think about that. One quick story was one of the clients you're going to see tonight is a miracle. They're all miracles, but one of them, I got a call months before this client showed up from a far-off county that needed help from our program. We helped this county that we don't work with a lot with a big murder case, and the lady that needed to come into our program, the young girl, needed our help. And so we helped them, and at the end of the conversation, I told the state's attorney, "You owe us one." And we don't deal with this county. 2 months later, we get a client that's lawyers calls from this county and said, "There's no hope. They're sending them to prison. Is there anything you can do? Can you show up?" And I said, "I got one better. I'm going to call the state's attorney right now." And I called the state's attorney and I said, "You remember you owed me one? Can you give us this one?" And the state's attorney sent this one. And I want to share this with you because when we saw him the first week, I thought, "Oh, there's no hope for this one here. What did I wasted my one." But you guys believed, and our staff believes, and when I don't believe, they say, get your head out of you know what and believe with me. And I do, and it lifts me up. And so I want to thank you guys and honor you guys, because the church family, you guys and your belief and your prayers are so important. Your money too, everything you do encourages us, gets behind us, and honor our pastors from the beginning. Dan Estrella, Pastor Jim and Peggy, for believing so long ago for men and women like us, and then for their family as well. So with that, let's bring them up. All right.
Awesome. And we have one client who is also graduating tonight. Kind of give you an idea of how it works within Harvest House. We have our Freedom Program for men and women who have a history of addiction. And then we have our Home Again program for homeless families. And our Home Again staff and our Freedom staff work together quite a bit because there's so much that is intertwined. So a lot of mothers who have children but may have an addiction. So oftentimes we'll see someone graduate or before they graduate moving into an apartment from the Freedom Program into Home Again. And so we have one tonight who's graduating, who is finished the Freedom Program. She got her 3 daughters back and is now in Home Again and in an apartment and working diligently. So we want to go ahead and ask our graduates to come up one by one. If you will, if you have family and friends with you, please invite them to come up with you. All right, so we're going to start with Tabitha Campbell. Hey! Hey! Congratulations, I met you through that. And their 3 lovely daughters. Yep, Home Again. Right here. So you can stay right here. Please welcome up Kimberly Musselwhite. And one gentleman, Rockford Upton. Yeah. Congratulations. Good looking group, huh? So as usual, we're going to ask each of them just to say a few words of just what has gone on in their life over the course that they have been with Harvest House. And you want to start, Tabitha?
Nervous, but yes.
All right.
Hi, I'm Tabitha Campbell. These are our beautiful daughters, 3 beautiful daughters, Haley, Destiny, and Alexis. I came from a broken home. Parents divorced. I got pregnant at age 14. Then started in selling drugs and then doing drugs, methamphetamines, pills. It didn't work. God, I'm so nervous. Went to prison, did a year and a day. That didn't work. Got out of jail, relapsed. That didn't work. So they sent me to the Harvest House. I have my 3 girls back. I have an apartment, and I have a full-time job for the first time in my life. I am sober and clean. Thank you. I've been sober for a year and 3 months.
You want to say something?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
When I was little, I never thought I would have a mom. I used to write my mom letters, and I wrote her one letter that I thought she would read, and she would she would read it and understand the way I felt. And she read it, but she didn't pay attention to what I said or what we said. She didn't care. But then when she met all of y'all, when she met these wonderful people, she straightened up. And now I live with my sisters finally and my mom. And I thank God and I thank y'all.
I'm so nervous. Okay. First of all, I didn't have a bad life. I just kind of got lost on the way. So I just want to talk positive here. So first of all, I just want to thank God. If it wasn't for Him, I couldn't have done this. I've been at Harvest for a year now. I became the house mom, and now I'm kind of house mom staff, kind of. But I just owe so much to the staff, to Jill, Amy, Jess, Irene, Jim, John. But they showed me how to love myself. They showed me unconditional love, and they believed in me. And I've met so many wonderful ladies on the way. I love all you guys. Got a good man beside me. Oh, yeah. And I've restored my relationship with my kids. It's my granddaughters, my brand new grandson, my daughter Carrie, my daughter Kayla. And that's it. Thank you.
Ready, Rocky?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
How y'all doing tonight? I'm pretty much the one they was all talking about. At the beginning, I didn't think I was going to make it either, but like, you know, they helped me a lot. It was kind of shaky at the beginning because like I wasn't really believing in myself, you know. So I want to thank Jim and all for, you know, they believed in me when I didn't believe in me, and Mr. Tucker, the whole staff, John. Like, I thank y'all for everything, giving me that chance for to be with my family, to stay with my family. It was probably one of the best things that's really happened to me in a long time. It's tough, but like change is hard. You know what I mean? No matter how you look at it. But it is possible. You know, you just got to keep striving forward. You know, I'm starting a new business. I've already started a new business, and like I got another one that I'm starting on the first of the year. So like it's all possible. You just got to put your dream to something and keep there, and stay to the grindstone, because it's a lot better on the other side when you stay the way you're supposed to be. Yeah. So, thank you, sir.